So she's just not going to have a lot of time to be co-hosting with me. But you're welcome to any time, hint, hint. But yeah, we have a great time. It's a lot of fun. And just check us out. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Jammin' Jukebox. And you can also find us on Facebook as well. So anyway, you just check us out. But we like it. But I love this show. Pam, you have got some great acts coming too, and I mean it's been a great debut week. I want to brag on Pam a little bit because in her very first show, she had over 300 live listeners and over 8,000 downloads of her first show, which was last Saturday, and she's had some phenomenal, actors and entertainers on this week in her first week, and so. Kudos to you, Pam. Congratulations. You've had an outstanding first week, and I believe we have a call.
I think so, too.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. This is Pam. Is this Eric?
This is Eric-Braeden.
Oh, great. I'm so happy. We were worried about you. We're glad you're okay.
I am very, very sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I apologize profusely. My wife and I went to a movie, and I didn't realize how the time had passed.
Yeah.
And suddenly it dawned on me. I said, oh, shit.
It's okay. It's perfectly okay. We're very delighted to have you with us tonight, so thank you for your time.
Well, thank you very much. And again, my profuse apologies. I just don't do that.
Oh, that's okay. That's
there you
okay.
are.
Really, don't worry about it.
I saw a wonderful film called Searching for Sugarman. Have you seen that film?
Searching for Sugarman?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No. What is that about?
Fantastic film. It's a semi-documentary. It's just a fantastic film about one of America's great musicians, a guy called Rodriguez, who lives on the streets in Detroit and was undiscovered for all those years, for decades. I didn't realize that he was a huge success in South Africa. And somehow they tracked him down. It's the story about all that. It's just a very heartwarming story.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Well, I did have a big opening for you, so if you bear with me.
Yes. So you two are where? You're in separate places?
Yes, I'm in Chicago, and Dawn is in North Carolina.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I was going to say,
yes.
Tonight we welcome film, television icon, Emmy Award winner, People's Choice Award-winning actor, and political activist, Eric-Braeden, who is also starred as one of the most popular characters in daytime history, Victor-Newman, for over 32 years on the #1 rated soap, The Young-and-the-Restless.
Well done.
Did you like that one?
That's cool. That's cool.
Hello and welcome.
And all true.
I said we can go on for hours with all the things that you've done in your life, but I wanted to ask you about, you have so many awards and medals that you've gotten throughout the years. Just to name a few of them for our listeners, in 1958, the German Youth Team Championship in discus, javelin, and shot put.
You got that right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In 1972-73, the U.S. Championship for the Maccabees for soccer.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
In 1995, you received the highest honor from the Italian television in Italy from Prime Minister, you're going to have to help me.
Berlusconi.
Thank you.
Berlusconi, right.
Thank you. In 1998, you received the People's Choice Award as a favorite actor in daytime drama series for your role as Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. Mm-hmm. 2007, you got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Mm-hmm. And you were nominated for 7 Emmy Awards, and in 1998 received the Emmy Award as Outstanding Actor in Daytime Drama Series. Mm-hmm. And the last one that I'm going to mention is you've received twice the Federal Media of Honor by President of Germany for your contribution to the German-American relations. And with that, my question is, what award or medal means the most to you and why?
My God, you got it all correct. And I would say the national championship and youth championship in Germany, 58. Discus, javelin, and shot put. Then I would say the U.S. Soccer Championship in 1973. And that's in sports, and two very important milestones for me. And then I would say People's Choice Award meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame meant also a great deal to me. So I cannot tell you in what order, depends on what time of my life, but they all meant something to me.
They're all very important. A great recognition for you.
Right.
Discus, javelin, and shot put. Mm-hmm. How did you train for that?
Well, you must remember I grew up in post-war Germany where we had, very little. So instead of weights, we did endless push-ups and chin-ups and push-ups and things to make you stronger. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have weights then. That came in later. And a lot of practice, 3 times a week, and had to take a bicycle to ride to a train station and take the train to ride into town. And the whole thing took about an hour and a half, and then go to practice, and for an hour, 2 hours, and then do the whole trip back.
Oh, wow.
And so those were rough times. And when I then came to America in 1959 and had a scholarship at the University of Montana in Missoula, and they showed me the training rooms and the facilities, I absolutely was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe the luxury in which American athletes trained.
Right.
I mean, weights and ice baths and whirlpools and I mean, just incredible. And then later on, I found out that you have that almost at every American high school.
Yeah.
So it's mm-hmm. paradise. I wish I'd grown up here.
Yeah, it definitely makes you appreciate it.
My God, I tell you. So I think American athletes have the facilities of what maybe the very top pros in other countries may have. But here it's accessible in high school.
Wow. Well, you definitely learned how to keep in shape from all of that.
Yeah, it taught me a great amount of discipline, and it taught me to, I think without sports, who knows? It would have been difficult, I think, to relax and to it just brings me down, and I feel wonderful afterwards. Mm-hmm. And there's the amount of endorphins that flood your brain and your body. It all feels damn good,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine life without working out. I can't.
All right.
Yeah.
Even when I'm alone somewhere and have no access to gyms or whatever, I just shadow box in whatever room.
Oh.
And I'll take the suitcases and do, bicep curls or push-ups or whatever it is. I just need to work out
mm-hmm.
at least once a day. Yeah.
Well, I think
when I traveled with my wife,
I used to put her.
When I traveled with my wife, I used to put her in the old days. Used to put her on my shoulders, and I would walk with her, or I would do squats with her on my back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did she have fun?
Looked rather strange. Yes, I think she had fun. Must have looked rather strange to onlookers, but I didn't give a damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we know that all these years that you've hit that punching bag on Y&R, that you really can hit that punching bag.
Well, anyone who knows anything about it will recognize that, and anyone who knows anything about it will also recognize that some others are, embarrassingly. Well, let's not talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, amateur boxing.
Yeah, well, you've done so many things along sports lines, and, if you had not pursued acting, do you think you would have played sports professionally as your chosen career?
That's a very good question, and I grew up at a time when had I grown up in America, I think I would have loved to have played football. I love that game. But having grown up where I grew up and at a time where that wasn't really, to advantage professionally, in other words, the kind of monies they pay now, or for the last 15 years, is just extraordinary. I mean, when you think that you can retire after about 5 or 6 years if you're at the top of your game,
right?
Be it even in tennis, be it in boxing, be it in football, be it in baseball, basketball, soccer. I mean, that didn't exist. So it really was not a long-term, thing to aim for, because you couldn't sustain making a living. But nowadays they make so much in such a short time that if they're smart, they're set for life.
Right.
That's great. And and I understand that along sports lines that you are a huge Lakers fan.
Yes.
And have you been catching? I know this. We're early in the season, but have you been catching any of the games so far?
Yes. Right. And but I did not. In fact, I'm going to watch it later. They're playing tonight under the new coach, I think, and I'm very curious. Obviously, we've all been upset by the fact that Phil Jackson didn't come back. Why? Because he is obviously one of the most successful coaches in the history of basketball.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, but I guess one should give this fellow a chance. And, it's difficult unless you talk to someone like Kobe or those personally, you don't really know what went on,
Right.
And you don't really know if the offer to Phil Jackson was honest or not. Who knows? And who knows what kind of bad blood exists within that family.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson is obviously an icon and is a 6'7", 6'8", and who knows how tall the son is of the owner, probably much smaller. And
right.
He is this phenomenally successful coach with a very sort of quiet and authoritative demeanor, and I'm sure that the younger son didn't feel too comfortable around that, big of a man in every respect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be intimidating.
So I think there's some psychological aspects to this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. Now I understand that you like to travel. And
that I like to travel?
Yes, and that you have been a lot of different places, and in all your travels, do you have a favorite place?
Oh boy. Well, to be very honest with you, and this may sound terribly boring, for years, all I wanted to do is go back to where I came from in Germany, to the village, to visit that. Not to live, but to visit it. And it just, when you leave at a young age and you're emotionally tied to a place, you forever, in your mind, you think about that place.
Yeah.
And so over the years, I'd go back every 2 or 3 years, but only for about 3 weeks at most. Never had the time to really spend any longer. So that is slowly diminishing because all my old friends have either moved away, or some of the even older ones on whose farms I used to work have passed. So there is really almost nothing left. There's a whole new generation there that I don't really know. They know me, but I don't know them. Mm-hmm. What I used to enjoy is go there and get on my bicycle or running suit, and then visit the farms and sit and bullshit with the farmers that I worked for. And I just enjoyed all that enormously. And then every so often we would all meet in the local inn and reminisce about my dad and family and my youth. And then I had a very close friend who was on the German Olympic team and who was the top javelin thrower and one of the best in the world for a while. And he passed. He was about 15 years older than I am. And I used to always go over there, and he and his wife would make Kaffee and Kuchen, coffee and cake in the afternoons. It's a German